Today I want to talk about VC to the Locus in cool. And I promised that we're going to talk about that. If you joined the live session that we had yesterday with our very amazing guests, specialization and carving a niche in law practice in Nigeria as a young lawyer. So today we want to talk about visiting the Locus in cool, and it's a very important topic. Like I say that most of my topics are important because it happens in litigation, which I have. Practiced, and it also happens in mediation, which I am currently practicing. I'm practicing both, by the way. So visiting the locus in co affects litigation and mediation. I'm going to show you how. But before jumping that gun, let me encourage you to subscribe to Battle with Ola. Yesterday I found that we are now 6,000 subscribers strong. Thank you very much. But YouTube reports came in and a few days ago, and I saw that the sheer amount of people or portion a proportion of people that are watching the videos are more of those who have not subscribed. So subscribers watch less than non-subscribers. So I want to encourage you, if you have subscribed, to keep coming back to watch the videos. And if you keep watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I promise it is not a waste of your time or commitment or data or what have you. So you will always enjoy it, and you can always give feedback, leave a comment on the videos, or send me an email at houseoflivingstones@gmail.com. Always welcome. So let's talk about visiting the locus inco. What does it mean? Locus inco just means the place where, or the place of which, or the it just means the place where, the place which, or in which. It's incomplete. But when we talk about visiting the locus inco in law, that's the I'm talking about the translation from Latin, because it's a Latin term. But when we talk about visiting the locus inco in law, we're talking about visiting the place where something happened. That is where the crime took place. The place where the cause of action arose. In a land matter now, visiting the locus inco could be visiting the land that is the subject of the dispute. In a property dispute, it could be visiting, the building, visiting the place where the subject matter of the litigation arose. It's used in litigation, also used in mediation. I'll talk about that and my experience so far as a mediator. So what happens is that when parties are before the court, you know that in court, the judge decides based on evidence put before the court, evidence forwarded or furnished by both parties or all parties in the matter. So that's how the court decides what the documents, and the witness testimony, oral testimony. But where those things cannot, give the judge a clear picture of what the matter at hand is all about, and there are so many ambiguities that are uncleared yet or still, the court can by law visit the place where the cause of action arose, the locus inco, like I have said, just to see for itself what the evidence before it cannot prove or explain. So that is it. But where the matter is clear, there will be no need to visit the locus inco. So it should not be seen as maybe an excursion by judges or something that can be done at will or on a whim. It must be clear that from the evidence furnished to the court, from the witness testimonies and from the documents before the court, the matter is still unclear. Then it will be very justified for the judge to adjourn the matter to visit the locus inco. So the judge visits the locus inco. So there are two ways. The judge could visit the locus inco by transporting, he's sitting to that place. So he would go there and hold courts, as if we were holding court in session, or he could go look at what he wants to look at, make his notes, then come back to court and sit, and then continue his proceedings. So that is what visiting the locus inco is all about. Visiting the locus inco is very important for visiting the locus inco is very important, like I said, because it helps to clarify a lot of ambiguities. So in mediation as well, visit the locus inco. So where the evidence furnished by parties does not make the matter clear to the mediator can adjourn the matter and then visit the locus inco. It could appoint someone, or she could visit in person at my mediation center, which is a government-owned facility. Lawyers do not visit the locus inco because our superior is concerned about our safety. So we have admin officers and we have other officers that go visit the local sync and then they bring a report. And usually, if it's a land matter, for instance, we'll write to the Ministry of Lands to give us, an officer. It could be a surveyor, a government surveyor, or the proper officer who would then follow parties to the land. And sometimes when we cannot procure, their presence, what I do is that I tell parties, okay, for instance, I had a matter between an imam and an allergy, they were fighting over portions of land that had entered into each other person's land. So the what I did was that because we could not procure the presence of people or persons or officers from the Ministry of Land on time, I asked both of them to go with their surveyors to measure out the land and see how much encroachment each person had into the other person's land. And the matter was favorably resolved. In several other cases too, I've encouraged parties to appoint their own neutral persons who will go and do the needful and then bring reports back. So that is what visit to the Locus is all about. It's a very simple procedure, you know, and it just helps to shed light on the case at hand. It is not like a separate procedure on its own. It has to be placed on the pedestal of an ongoing matter, either in court or in settlement, as the case may be. But that's essentially what visiting the Locus is all about. Don't forget to watch the other videos and tell people, tell your friends, tell everyone that we now hold live sessions on this channel. We're still new to it, but this is probably the 6th live. I hope that you watch everything, and I hope that you start, chatting in the chat box, leaving comments even while the live is going on. I'll see you in my very next video or live session. Toodles.